I know a lot of you newer agency owners have a very hard time working for like 90 minutes straight, 90 minutes to 45 minutes straight. So in this video, I'm going to pretty much show you a system that I use to get my agency off the ground called the deep work system. Put this right here. So if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Cameron. I run a small agency. I've been going at it for about a year. And pretty much my goal is just to help people, help newer agencies and agencies that are already going on, ones that are going and getting better. I just want to put some info into their head, make them feel like they're not alone, build a community of people growing an agency, if that makes sense, just to show you you're not alone. So yeah, there'll be three steps of this deep work plan, but we're going to go through them one by one. But before we even get into that, I just want to drop some info on you guys. Now I know a lot of you guys, wait a minute, I got another board. I know a lot of you guys, before I even show this, I know a lot of you guys, you're probably sitting around, you're trying to do work, but you're not doing things that are scaling. You're doing things such as watching videos all day or just creating automations or just learning things in courses, but that's not really moving the needle forward. What's going to move the needle forward is when you sit down for a certain amount of time with no distractions and complete a certain task. That's what's going to move the needle, because every time you do that every single day, that's going to build and build and build until sooner or later you have a thriving tree. That's what's really going to help your agency grow. So I'm going to show you guys my second whiteboard. Here we go. This is important. The first thing I'm going to talk about is shallow work. Now, shallow work pretty much is what a lot of you guys are probably doing because you haven't been told the right thing to do yet. Essentially, shallow work is just doing a bunch of things that aren't going to move your agency forward, such as building automations or maybe just watching videos on YouTube or watching videos in your course or just talking in your community about working. But that stuff isn't going to move your agency forward, guys. What's going to really help you guys is doing deep work. Deep work, essentially, you just go in a room, you set a block of time, no distractions. Like I said, you set one task and you get to work on that single task. The thing I want you guys to truthfully understand in this video right here is 1 hour of deep work can beat 7 hours of shallow work and uncoordinated work of just doing random things. So essentially, this is just a 3-step plan I'm going to give you guys. I want you guys to follow this, implement it every single day. Now, I know, I'll be honest with you, the first week is going to be very hard. And if you can't do 90 days, you can cut that, not 90 days, excuse me. If you can't do 90 minutes, cut that down to maybe like an hour or 45 minutes and do that for like 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. And then once you're comfortable doing 45 minutes of deep work, then you can up it to an hour. And then after that, just keep on adding 15 minutes until you make it to like 2 hours. So step 1 of our 3-step plan is going to be the pre-work setup. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. It's very hard to work on something when you don't know what you're going to work on. So I would suggest either in the morning, the night before, or after you finish working the previous day, write down a list of things that need to be done in your agency that you haven't done yet. Just make like a checklist of maybe like 5 or 6 things the day before or the morning of or before you work. It's easy. It's way easier. Trust me, you'll get way more work done when you know exactly what needs to be done. The order doesn't matter, but you just have a list of things that need to be done versus having to, and once you finish one task, you have to think about what to do for the next task. Because once you've lifted your focus off of working, your focus is pretty much gone and you've wasted time because you're thinking of something else to do now instead of just having a whole of sorted list of things that already need to be done. So you can just be working, check something off, go to the next task, check something off. Then you're on the next task. That's what I say when I say that in 1 hour of constant deep work or 90 minutes of constant deep work, you can finish a way more than what somebody working in 7 hours probably could. And now step 2 of our plan is going to be get started. What I mean by get started is you know what you have to do now. Now you just have to commit, guys. And what I suggest you do is step number 1. I don't have my phone right now, so I can't use my phone to show you this. But this right here, this is your distraction. This is a phone right here. This is an iPad, but this is a phone right here. What I want you to do right now, if you have an iPhone or Android, it all works the same. What I want you to do is go to your timer app, set a timer for an hour, 45 minutes, 90 minutes, whichever one. Set that timer and press go. And well, actually, no, don't do that first. Set that timer, and then I want you to take this to another room far away from you. Don't put it anywhere near you. Because every time you hear a notification going off on this doohickey, it's gonna draw your attention away, even if you don't go check it. But every time you hear it, in your mind, you're gonna be like, I wonder what that notification was. And that's going to take your mind away from working. I know a lot of you guys may think you have the willpower to keep this around you when you're working, but trust me, it's not the fact that you're looking at it. You might not look at it, but like I said, just hearing this notification go off is gonna draw your focus away. You don't want anything to draw your focus away, because the more you focus, the better you're gonna work, the more work you're going to get done. So like I said, set a timer. Leave this in the other room. You now have a list of things to work on, because you just made a list of things to work on in step 1. You start that timer and you just work for 90 minutes. Now, there are some things you can do. Some people I know like to turn their clock and things off on their computer and stuff, so they have no idea what time it is. You can do that if you want to. But the more undistracted work you have, the better. Because if you turn off your clock and if you leave your clock on, some people like to look at their clock, and then their brain is going to start getting tired, because they're going to be like, I wonder how much longer I'm working. So if you want to, you could just turn off your clock on your computer too. Some people have to do that. Some people don't. But the main thing is, you just want to eliminate all distractions, because any distraction you have is going to draw your attention away, and you don't want any distractions. If you're in a room, if you're in a house with other people, they got to get out of there, because you got work to do. You're trying to help them for the future. So essentially, the main thing for step 2, like I said, is just get started. Set that timer and get going on what you have to do. Now, step 3 of our plan is, after you've worked, I want you to take a break. Because after you've worked so long, unless you're a professional, unless you really do this, which a lot of you don't be if you're watching this video, unless you really do this, you're not going to be able to work for like 2 or 3 hours without stopping. So I suggest every hour or every 90 minutes, just take a little break. Now, what I don't want you to do is go grab this thing right here. Don't go grabbing this right here, because then you're going to text your because then what's going to happen is you're going to go get this, and you only have a 15-minute break. That's all you need, is a 15-minute break. What you're going to do is you're going to go grab this, and then you're going to go check your notifications, and then all of a sudden a notification from Clash Royale is going to pop up, and you're going to go click on that. And all of a sudden, you're going to be 3 losses into Clash Royale 20 minutes later, and you're not going to feel like getting to work anymore. So what I suggest to do is just keep any distractions away from you. You can maybe go read a physical book, not an electronic book, a physical book. In those 15 minutes, you can maybe go for a walk outside. You can go eat an apple or something. But don't do anything that's going to draw your attention to it fully. No distractions. I would suggest for the first week, just do a 90-minute to hour deep work session, then call it a day. Once you're used to doing that, do your deep work session for an hour and 30 minutes the next week. Then take your 15-minute break, then come back to an hour. Don't do an hour and 30 minutes, because you're going to start losing brain power after an hour, because you haven't built that muscle up. Every week, just add every week, just add like 30 minutes onto that. Don't try and overdo yourself, because the last thing you want to do is overdo yourself and then lose confidence. So that's pretty much it, guys. This system has helped me grow my agency, to get my first client, to do a lot of great things. Now, I know what you're thinking. That wasn't really anything new. That wasn't like a great secret. That's because it's not a great secret, guys. A lot of things don't have to be advanced. And that's the problem. A lot of you guys are always looking for a secret weapon or some secret strategy. A lot of things aren't that hard. You just have to do the work. That's really the whole point I want you guys to understand. If you just come and do the work, no distractions, you're going to grow way harder and way faster than a guy. Pause. Restart that. And that's pretty much the strategy, guys. It's not really that complicated. I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are probably thinking I was going to drop you guys. I was going to give you guys a great gem or some solid information, but that's the problem. There is no secret weapon or cheat or anything that's going to get you guys to the next level. The only thing that's going to essentially get you guys to the next level is if you actually sit down and work. Don't scroll, no distractions, anything. All you have to do is just work. That's the only thing that's going to get you to the next level, guys. That's what I want you to understand. That's essentially all deep work is. You just, no distractions, and you just work. So this is what I want you guys to do right here. I want you guys to try this tomorrow. I want you to set a 90-minute block. I want you to do everything I just said. Find 90 minutes or an hour throughout your day. I want you to set a block, set a timer, and just work. And you'll see exactly, and I want you to see exactly how great you do versus how much work you would accomplish if you didn't do this. I want you to compare those two, and I want you to see the outcome. And then I want you to come back to the video, drop in the comments, did you notice something different? And if you don't know what to do, if you're confused, or if you're just starting an agency, I want you to watch this video that's gonna come up right here. And it's gonna pretty much give you the blueprint of everything that I would do if I had to start a new agency.